So recommendations that came out are designing and implementing new agile ways of working, updating agile certifications, requiring agile coaches to become proficient in inclusion and equity, requiring teams and coaches and leaders to consider diversity, equity, and inclusion that impacts in agile ways of working during retrospectives. Retrospectives are really very important, and I don't know how many times I've heard teams say, we really don't want to do a retrospective. We're not finding any value. When you hear teams saying that, by the way, it just says something's wrong and you need to correct it as a coach. Retrospectives are powerful ways of working and powerful ways of improving and increasing the knowledge that teams have, right? Improving the way they work, learning. If teams are finding themselves repeating things over and over again, coaches or Scrum Masters are not challenging them enough to go outside of their comfort zone. So the other is industry bodies need to update agile frameworks and certifications and certification models. I think that would be a good start, but I think there's more to be done. And one of the points that the report makes is that not only do we have to be aware of the fact that diversity, equity, and exclusion happens regardless, it's there. It's whether you want to recognize it or not, that issues do exist, that we cannot fix everything, but we could influence. And that's key here. We all have a part to play. As coaches, we are coaching people, right? We're an expert around people, or we should be an expert of people. Diverse teams is inevitable. It's a global workforce. That is what's happening. That is the structure of our economy today. Know that bias exists everywhere and in everyone. The core of agile organizations is to deliver better products to consumers. A diverse and empowered workforce can better communicate and understand their customer needs. And something that I need to add here is, no matter what, you're going to find these biases. They will be disguised in many ways, but biases exist in each and every culture. They don't just exist in the United States, right? And it isn't just against Black and white. It's Black, white, Chinese, yellow, brown. It's everywhere in everyone. And I've had this discussion with even my own kids, because early on, my husband background is Puerto Rican. I am Costa Rican born. My husband was born here in the States, and they experienced, even within the Latin American community, not being able to fit. So from the Puerto Rican community was, well, you're not Puerto Rican. And from the Costa Rican community, you're not Costa Rican. Because they look at things very different, right? So they are unique. They've been excluded from the Puerto Rican community because they're not 100% Puerto Rican, and they've been excluded from the Costa Rican community because they're not 100%. In fact, they consider them gringos in Costa Rica. So it happens in every, the point is, it happens in every culture. And that's something we have to acknowledge. And I'm sure it happens even within, just an example, India between the North and South, right? Or Africa between the North and South, United States between West and East, right? As long as we are aware, we can then address it. The coach, as the influencer, can have a great deal of power. If you're mindful in retrospectives and exercises to make sure that these are inclusive, if you help your team to become more aware of DE&I, right? Help them understand that differences exist, but we should all respect the fact that people are different. Just the same way we respect the fact that everybody brings in their opinions and are valuable to whatever they have to add. right? Ask the team to add the team norms, to team norms themselves. Not only have a discussion and raise awareness around it, but get them to add inside their team norms, right? To be more inclusive. How would they be more inclusive? Perhaps they have team members that are out in Asia. Perhaps they have team members that are part of the team members that are out in Latin America, right? Perhaps they have they're not only Asia and Latin America and States, but they're also Australia, right? New Zealand. Make sure that they're inclusive in their activities and model the way. But not only model the way, challenge. And here where leadership needs you, right? As an agile coach, to provoke and provide different perspectives, to create that safe environment, to influence, right? You need to move people out of their comfort zone. And here's a little knowledge from neuroscience, right? Research. The brain needs to be stimulated by emotions such as confusion before a new pattern thinking can emerge. In fact, they say about 400 attempts before creating a new pattern needs to be set for learning. Could you imagine that? 400. So think of ways that you can start incorporating in your coaching, DE&I, where it be either exercises, whether it could be right before a daily stand-up, something I used to do a lot when I was coaching. I was out a while back at Bose. We would do right before the daily stand-up, a quick exercise. And that quick exercise helped level set them, help bring in some more of that knowledge or something that they were lacking. So I would choose the exercise, and there would literally be 1 or 2 minute exercises, and most of the time they were games. And so this started to help them not only bond better and form better. It's not only about eating right together. It's also about bringing people continuously together throughout a day. So if you think of different events that you can incorporate some sort of exercise right before it starts, a quick exercise. It does not have to be a long exercise. For those of you who are coaches that might be familiar with Tasty Cups, they have a lot of exercises that you can use, and you can tailor and even make them slightly smaller. So the key here is to make them painless and allow for the teams to have fun before going into the next session, right? These are teaching moments.